Hi there, welcome back to the channel. In this episode of Exciting Careers in Power Systems Industry, we are going to discuss opportunities as a Power Systems Studies Specialist. What is the role of a Power Systems Studies Specialist? How do you become a Power Systems Studies Specialist? And why you should consider becoming a Power Systems Studies Specialist. Let's start with some roles and responsibility. A Power Systems Studies Specialist is an electrical engineer who has strong understanding of power systems. Your primary role will be to conduct power system studies such as short circuit, load flow, protected device coordination, motor starting, grounding, transient analysis, and so on. Typically, power system study specialists start out as design engineers. There are different paths that you can take in order to become a power system study specialist. Typically, you'll be an electrical engineer having completed 4 years of undergraduate degree from an accredited university with a focus on power systems. There are very few universities that offer courses that can help you directly enter this field. Generally speaking, you'll start out as a design engineer or you'll work as a junior engineer in a protection and control setting. If you're working as a design engineer, let's say in a consulting firm, in an MEP firm, then your responsibilities will be fairly general. And by general, I mean that you'll be involved in various aspects of electrical design. You may be doing equipment specification, equipment layout, wiring diagrams, helping with the single line diagram, load calculations, doing cable sizing, working with codes and standards, basically a bit of everything. Now, this is not a bad place to start because if you're working as a generalist, it gives you a broad picture view of things. And I started my career as a design engineer in a consulting firm, working in a multidisciplinary setting on small, medium, and large scale projects. I used to interact with mechanical engineers, process engineers, controls engineers, HVAC engineers, civil, structural, and so on. If your ultimate goal is to become a power systems studies specialist, then starting out as a design engineer is sort of an indirect and a slower path to that destination. But along the way, you will broaden the horizon of your knowledge base. Now, the other option is that you can start out in an electrical utility or even in consulting firms within their transmission and distribution department that focuses on protection and control. From the get-go, you'll most likely be working with senior engineers who specialize in protection and control. Your initial assignments may seem trivial, such as doing field measurements and verifications. You gotta recognize that a power system model is based on some ground realities. When you create a single line diagram, that is actually a simplified representation of what the real network looks like. When we're doing power system study, we typically start with a single line diagram, but we also fact check it with field measurements. For instance, if a single line diagram is showing a distribution panel with some auxiliary loads downstream of that panel, a good power system study specialist will cross-verify and validate whether the panel still exists, especially if the single line diagram is very old. Now, the senior engineer may ask you as a junior to go out in the field and verify that. This may seem like a trivial exercise, but I strongly encourage power systems engineers to take this opportunity and learn how the deliverables translate into reality and vice versa. You may find yourself doing measurements of cable runs, estimating and approximating the different distances. Once the field data is verified, the next stage is to actually build the network. As a junior engineer, you may be involved only in the data entry portion of this phase, which again may seem trivial. But all of these steps are crucial in you becoming a good power system specialist down the road. Because in my opinion, you have to go through the process at least once. Down the road, when you become an expert, you will have a very good idea of how much of an effort is required for different steps, and then you can help train the next generation of power system specialists. After data entry, while you are doing all of these trivial and maybe seemingly boring steps, make sure that you ask quality questions and try to understand how each piece of the puzzle helps create the full picture. Why is it important for us to make sure that our distances for cable lengths are as accurate as possible? Why is it that we need to check the motor nameplate data? Why should we verify the breaker trip settings on the actual switchgear? Why is it important to get the type of the fuse that is being used for conductor protection? Why should we go out in the field and verify whether the transformer has two-stage fan cooling or not? Does it really matter whether the cable is being routed in open air or in a conduit? All of these questions will help you fine-tune the model. And if you want to learn more about preparation of FE Electrical and Computer exam and the P-Power exam, then check out these playlists over here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next video.